We are living in a post-racial America. We have a black president, so maybe we don't need black fraternities and sororities anymore. We have a black president, so maybe we don't need the NAACP. We have a black president, maybe we don't need historically black colleges anymore. This was the propaganda that white supremacy put out when Barack Obama was elected. And what happened during Obama's administration? We saw a white police brutality and assassination campaign against the black community like we've never seen in recent history. Whenever they try to act like race don't matter, that's exactly when they're about to become more racist. Now, I want to draw a parallel to this, Art, because right now, Donald Trump is waging war against Venezuela. Even though war can only be declared by Congress, Donald Trump has taken it upon himself to wage war against the Venezuelan government. Now, how does this relate to Nicki Minaj? I'm going to tell you. Nicki Minaj, her parents and herself, they're from Trinidad and Tobago. If I'm not mistaken, Nicki Minaj may have been born in Trinidad or Tobago. If she wasn't, at least her parents were. At least her father was. Rest in peace to him, and condolences to the family for their loss of her father. Nobody should ever lose their life in that manner. So her father is of East Indian and African heritage. So he's mixed race, East Indian and African Trinidadian. Her mother, I believe, may be an American African. But from what I understand, the mother's all black. The father is black and East Indian. So Nicki Minaj carries within her the DNA of the East Indian people and the African people. And my question to Sister Nicki Minaj, and I hesitate to call her sister, but I'm going to do it anyway, because until I get clarity from her, I'm not going to assume the worst. But a question I would need to ask Nicki Minaj, Art, do you primarily identify as a black woman, or do you primarily identify as an East Indian? And the reason I got to ask her that, Art, not only is she turning her back on the same black America that made her famous, not only is she turning her back on the same black America that made her famous, Art, but right now, Donald Trump has carried out 29 different strikes on Venezuelan seagoing vessels, Art. The Caribbean Sea, Donald Trump has seized oil tankers from Venezuela. He has murdered at least 105 Venezuelans. Allegedly, that's what the media is reporting. There's only one Caribbean country, Art, that is standing in solidarity with Donald Trump. Guess who it is? Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister of Trinidad, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Nicki Minaj's ancestral homeland. Well, technically your ancestral homeland is Africa, okay? But the birthland of her parents and maybe herself, Trinidad and Tobago, they are the only Caribbean country, or should I say the main Caribbean country, standing in solidarity with Donald Trump's unilateral and illegal move to declare war on Venezuela without the approval of the U.S. Congress. Now, Art, you might ask the question, why is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago going against the entire Caribbean community and standing with Donald Trump? You want to know why? Most Caribbean islands have a black president and or black prime minister. Trinidad and Tobago is unique, Art, because the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, a woman by the name of Kamala, first name Kamala, okay? Not Kamala, not to be confused with Kamala, but Prime Minister Kamala of Trinidad and Tobago is the East Indian. So even though the population of Trinidad and Tobago, Art, is 40% black, it's also 40% East Indian. And it's 20% mixed. And I've been to Trinidad and Tobago. And do you know what I was told by the Trinidadian and Tobagan Africans there? Our black brothers and sisters, they told me that Trinidad and Tobago is dominated by the East Indians. They told me that they are racist, that they control the import and export. They told me that they control the drug trade. They told me that they control the used car industry. I was even told in Trinidad and Tobago by our black brothers and sisters, our Trinidadian African brothers and sisters, that if an ethnic war broke out, if a race war broke out in Trinidad and Tobago,